So it's 10:30 at night. I wasn't up until around 1 o'clock today. I've been at this for a bit, and I'm still. I mean, it's not. The fading was not anywhere near as discernible, but it's still present, leading me to conclude that I may be dealing with multiple sources of interference. As crazy as one source of interference is, could you imagine multiple? Um, the only way anything's interfering right now, I mean, I've got everything unplugged except the mixer and the computer, basically. Um, so the only way anything could possibly be interfering is if it was actually the cord itself. Now, um, that's kind of a funny thing because that's not something that you might. Well, I mean, the insulation on the cord is not perfect, right? It's going to pick shit up, but it's more a question of what the hell is it picking up? Like, is it picking up, the wireless from the neighbor, or like who knows, right? Um, I've really got. I mean, I've really got one more option before I decide I need to buy a new headphone cord, and that is that I stretched out my cord. I mean, this I think this is fairly remote, but when you take electrical wires and you spin them around, they create a field, right? And I had my cord just kind of looped around in circles here. Um, like I say, if there's anything interfering, it has to be the cord itself, and I did have it looped, so there is some possibility that I was generating my own circuit, or generating my own interference to the cord as it was coiled around. Um, I think that is so unlikely as to think it's crazy. But at the same time, I straightened it out and I got my little extra boost back. So I'm gonna go have another cigarette. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give it a listen. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna try this. I mean, I'm not gonna give up on it once. I'm gonna try it a few times, straighten it out. But I mean, if it's not that any, I mean, I, I mean, I couldn't think of anything else I could do besides ordering um, another headphone cord. And in the meantime, I don't know. I'm gonna have to find some way to improvise. See what I can do about listening to the tracks as they are through the MP3 player or some other thing. To see what I can do in the meantime. But this is really pretty much my last thing that I can do before I decide that I need a new cable. Um, and that's with actually the added. Um, so yeah, the I didn't. Not only did I not get a flashing light, the battery indicator was at like a quarter. So that's I don't know. Maybe if you know, uh, Polaroid has some kind of a deal with Duracell or something. Who the hell knows? Um, all I know is I've got my rechargeables, and it's a good thing I do. So what I was saying was that if this works, then um, I know it's the cable, and I need to get another cable. If it doesn't work, I don't know what it is, but I need to take a guess that it's the cable than the cable. So I'm gonna need a new cable anyways. I might as well get two while I'm at it. I think I should take the extra step of ensuring I get the right jack, and I replace the brace. Um, that brace didn't come with these headphones. It came with a different pair of Sennheisers. That's the brace that came with those ones, but it's broken. So to get all the accessories, who knows? It might have something to do with it. It's hard to see how or why. Um, I'll let something else swap out, and who knows why or how. Like maybe the way that the phones are sitting on the braces has something. It's creating a magnetic field, and it's interfering. And if it was more in that configuration, it wouldn't. It sounds ridiculous, and it is probably ridiculous, but that's the kind of thing that I'm working with right now, because I can change the sound that I'm getting out of the phones by straightening out the cable or replacing the jack or that sort of thing. So I mean, it's like I say, it's some kind of interference, and as ridiculous as these things sound, this is actually what I'm dealing with right now. This is what I have reduced it to, and this is what the actual problem seriously is. Um, like I'm creating a magnetic field with a coil, or like I say, the cans are interfering, or it's something that would be considered outrageous is actually what's happening. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go for smoke, come back, and play around with a few more things. Like I say, it's better with everything off, so it might have been compounding it, but there is still something fishy going on, and I haven't really gotten to the total root of it yet. So it's a little after 2, um, and I have good news, anyways. I am seemingly completely stable. I've actually got the first 12 tracks lined up. The last couple are a little fuzzy, but I think I'm pretty much ready to move on with them. With the bulk of them, I've been stable for hours, and it's really the first time in a long time I can say that. At least out of that device. Um, I've got one of 3 explanations here. Well, 4 really. Um, the first is that it does have something to do with removing all of this interference, and that something was interfering. Um, I'm a little skeptical on that one because it was behaving a little funny um, a little bit earlier this evening. The second is that it has something to do with how long the device has been on for. I've noticed a few times that when I leave the device on for a longer period, it seems to stabilize. It's not true with the other cards, but it does seem to be true with that one. Um, Something else that I've got a little bit of testing to do with that. The third option is that it actually has to do with straightening the cord out. I think that that's the one that is the most likely, to be honest with you. Actually, there's 5. The fourth is that it has to do with the jack. I did switch the jack again tonight, and ever since I switched it, it's been flat. Or sorry, it's been stable. Um, but I switched it after I straightened the wire it. So it might be like the combination of the straight wire and the swap to jack. Meaning I think it was probably more just a static electricity thing. And the fifth option, which is the one I hope is not true, is that whatever interference coming from outside this room was bothering me has stopped for the night. And I hope that's not true, because if it is true, then it will come back. What I need to do right now, I'm gonna actually listen to this a few more times, or at least one more time, all the way through, and hope it's still stable. It's been stable for a while. I think it should be okay, but I'm not yet ready to jump to the next step. So I listen to it all the way through one more time, at least one more time, maybe twice, 2 more times, and then after that, I will want to try to turn this device on. I'm not really comfortable with moving through the tracks until I can hear them properly through this device. Um, it's mostly a volume issue, but I mean it sounds better, or let me rephrase that. It sounds stable. It's or standardized. I've mixed everything through this device in a small volume range, um, and that's how I want to be mixing it as I go forward. Um, Broadly speaking, pretty much it does pretty much sound good, but it's mostly the bass that I'm a little skeptical about mixing through there. I want to hear it through here, just because I get that extra volume boost. Um, but what I'll have to do is I'll have to turn that device on and just let it sit, and then I'll listen to it through here. And then after that, then connect it, and then only the third time through actually swap the cables out. Um, Obviously, if I listen to this, another time, or if I'm listening to it for another, hour or two, and it's still fine, and as soon as I turn that on, it flattens out. Well, it's pretty clear I've got a magnetic issue or a ground issue. I would want to fix that by changing the power bar. So I had this connected to that power bar there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's behind it there, down there. I'll just swap it over back to the one that it was at before, which is this one behind there. This one here. And hopefully that'll make the difference. But I mean, I'm not. At this point, the honest truth is, I think it was the cable. I think that having the cable coiled around was producing some kind of a field, and that field was screwing up the audio. That is consistent with having it sound good most of the time out of here, because I would have picked it up out of there, and I would have let it hang. And then as soon as I put it back into this device or into the receiver, I would have coiled it back up again. So I can make sense of this anyways. And I can make sense of it for the same reason I can make sense of the receiver. It's correlated, right? So I'm going to have to do that test to determine which one is the greater factor. But like I say, right now, I'm really convinced, as outrageous as it is, that just spinning or just wrapping the cord up a little was producing some kind of a magnetic effect. I mean, you wrap a cord, you wrap a coil around something, and it does. It creates a field, but you wouldn't expect the field that you're getting out of a headphone cord to be dramatic enough to affect the audio out of it. That seems to be what I got here. Remarkable, but apparently true. I'm not there yet, though. I still have to test with that and see what I get. But that should take me most of the rest of the night. If I'm still stable all the way through, I'm sure that I'm going to get a boost of energy. So I think I'll probably be up for quite a bit longer, presuming it all works out. Otherwise, I will no doubt pass out in desperation. It's 20 to 4 and I'm still stable. Time to plug the JVC in and see what happens. And in fact, that was immediate. It immediately fell back down. So, that is my problem. There's my cause and effect right there. Let me see if I can re. Suck. See if I can get back to where I should be by unplugging it. Yeah. That, okay, so, it's either an electrical or a magnetic issue, related to that device. Okay. So, then, let me try to plug it in the other side and see what happens. That was, in fact, let me try it again, see what it does. Yep. That's the, it took a second, but do it again. Yeah, well, actually that's still a little low, but let's see here if it comes back. Yeah, so that's a very clear cause and effect. So let me plug it in on the other side and see what happens. Okay, so it didn't fade immediately. I mean, it seems stable right now. But I'm going to go ahead and listen to the whole sequence and see if it fades. If it doesn't, I think I found the answer here. If it does, well, I think I've still found the answer. It's electrical somehow. I would be less clear on how to fix it. It seems to be better when I have them in the same plug rather than different plugs. So, but then again, it might be just a load issue. Why would it do that? It might do that because it's losing current. That bar might be stealing extra current, thereby reducing the amount in that one. Does that actually make sense? It would have to. Let's see if it's stable. Okay, so it's about 6 a.m. So I reset the load here with these devices. Those are the internet devices, the modem and the router. I have them set through a different power chain coming off of the other one. And I grounded everything in here. I haven't fully tested it out through the JVC yet. But what I started finding was through that device, it was, I mean, I had to reset the jack a few times, but it was mild. I wasn't getting the full, like it was falling down like a half step, maybe even a full step. This was more like an 8th step. It's reset nonetheless, but I think it kind of has to be a magnet somewhere. And what I need to be focusing on is draining electricity out of this cable, and ensuring that I'm not creating a magnet out of it. I think that's really the core thing. I do think that this is a good idea, and I think that it will probably minimize the issue. But I think that the only way to actually really prevent it is to straighten the cord out. Now, if I notice that the issue is recurring, I will need to get a new cable. Right now, I don't think I'm going to. We'll find out. But I mean, I think I think that that is the issue, and I think that this is the issue solved. There is going to need to be another testing phase tomorrow. Like I say, it's almost 6 a.m., so I'm not going to be up too much longer. A little bit blunt, I'm fairly alert, so that might actually not be true. I at the very least I don't plan on doing any work tonight. However long I'm up, this sounds great. However long I'm up is going to be dependent just on how long it takes for me to convince myself that it's still functioning. I think. I may actually end up editing some vlogs. Either way, I think I'm out for the night. So, later. So I just wanted to add that, I thought that one of the reasons I don't want to use this is because of the temperature. And I think that that might actually be a part of what was happening. And the reason I needed to reset the jack was that it was heating up. We'll find out. But like I said, I'm out for the night.